First of all, I would say thanks for the prayer that you prayed for the minister. This time it was hard to prepare for the message. Harder than quite often. Why? Probably one reason was because I want to talk about Satan and devil. How he tempts us and how he wants us to believe his lies. And I think that was one reason why he was working hard with me and tried to steer me off and off and off and off and don't talk about him. How he's a liar. And we don't want to believe his lies. He's a Satan. Because we do sometimes believe his lies, and then we go with those lies, and then we're in trouble, sooner or later. So let's start with Ephesians 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God. That's what we need. If we want to have victory, we have to put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. We have to do that, otherwise we won't make it. And have the shield of faith and the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. That's what we need. Otherwise we won't make it. So I brought some boxes up here. That you could focus a little bit on. Here's a black one. And here's a white one. So a black box and a white one. And when you want to talk about the white one and about the black one, but the problem is we will talk the most of this black one here. And you could imagine for what reason that black one is over there. The black one, that's Satan. And wherever Satan gives you advice, that line's always straight down into the hell. The white one, that's Jesus. And if you listen to his advice, then it goes up to heaven where he is. So now I will use it again and again. It's out of which box does your thoughts come from? When you talk, out of which box your advice came? If you do deeds, who supported you? Out of which box you took them? Out of the black one or out of the white one? And that's very important. James 4, verse 7. Therefore, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Okay, we could do that. With the blood of Jesus Christ, we could do this. If we commit to God, we could resist. Like this black box, the devil is always ready to try to give you advice. Listen, I have something to you. And he did. When I grew up, I was 12 years old. When my father died, at that same night, he came to me and told me a lot of lies, and I started to believe those lies. And I have lived for years in those lies. And he lied again and again, and he told me a lot of lies, and I started to believe it. Satan told me the more evil thing I would do, the better Christian I would be. So I believed him that. And I did it when I came in trouble, and people tried to fix me, and they said, this is wrong what you're doing, it's so bad. I said, no, wait. the more trouble I will make in this world, the better Christian I will be. He came up with lies. And then what he came up, another lie to me, he said, Larry, you can do nothing about going to hell or to heaven. If Jesus wants me into hell, there's no way trying to be a Christian. That's absolutely to the white box. They will decide which direction I would go, and I could do nothing. So I just could live my life as I wanted it. And Satan lied to me and said, hey, Christianity is hard work, that's sorrow, that's sadness, and if you listen to me, you will enjoy your life. And I tried it. Lies. It is all out of this black box. And I started believing I could tell you lie after lie. Even what really bothered me so much, I had a hobby of lying too. Because I took so much out of the black box, I had a hobby. Just telling lies to people. Praise the Lord that he died for me and his blood saved me. Got me out of this black box. So the devil walks like a roaring lion, that we find in 1 Peter 5, verse 8, and tried to seek whom he could destroy. Because that's one way. Just like dogs. Dogs, they when they bark so hard and act like I am the biggest king in this world, they just want to see who will back up. If I won't back up, then he will back up. But he comes like, I'm the biggest guy and I will win you just like that. If I don't back up, then he will back up. And that's Satan. He acts like a roaring lion, like if he has everything. But if we have Christ in us, we just could confront him and say, back up. It's not your business. I'm a higher power. I'm connected to the white box. And you have no say to me. Just resist him in faith. Luke 10, verse 19. Behold, I gave you the authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemies, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Praise the Lord. So, if we're connected to this white box, we have the power and the blood of Jesus. That we just, whenever he comes, we just go, that's it, Satan. You belong to be under the feet. Your lies, I don't want to go that direction, because that goes straight down into this black box. But it says, verse 20, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. So we don't want to just brag about how, yeah, I could step on him. Now, rejoice that your name's in this white box. That's where we rejoice. So now, if we go to John 8. The Jews believed that Jesus had a demon. And again, we find that they believe that Jesus was taking advice out of the black box, and he was working together with that black box. They figure Jesus was lying, and the lies are all coming out of this box, out of the black box. Here Jesus said he was before Abraham. Oh, right away they figure, okay, yeah, we got you now. You're a liar, because we know your family, and you are not 40 years old yet, and you say I was before Abraham? You're a liar. They figure we have cracked you now, you're a liar. Who was a liar? Exactly the Jews. Verse 44, that's where Jesus said that their father was a devil that they were serving, and that was a murder from the beginning on. And when he was talking about lies. So it was different than they thought. And they said, their father that they served, that was out of this box. And that was the leader of the liars. That's the one that lies to us. And don't believe that. And sometimes they're so close, you have to listen close and maybe ask for advice from your brother or sister. Is this a lie out of this box that I start to believe? Or does it come from this box? They're not always so much apart that we could say, it shines just like black and white. You could see it always it's black or white. And even in Matthew 9, verse 34, the Pharisees, they figure Jesus was cast out demons out of this black box. How would that work? Why would he, if he had a demon, and with the demon's power, he would cast out demons? That just goes once against the other one. Why would he do that? Well, if you start to believe lies, you get confused. And you're in trouble. Like I told you before, Satan is going to hell. And Jesus is in heaven already. And both. Jesus wants us to join him in heaven. He did all he could do that he could join us in heaven. Satan did all his things he could do that we could join him in hell. None of us want to join him in hell. But he's trying his part. Make you think about it. Keep that in mind. But only by Jesus Christ we could handle this. I'm going to tell you a short story. So there was a man who liked to tell stories. What happened? So he had a lot of friends that came to him. I think it was at nighttime. They came to him and liked to listen to his stories, and not just stories, what he said, what had happened. It was true stories, right? So, and then after he had told them all these stories, they found out he had lied to them. Oh, boy, that was not too good. But still, they loved this storyteller, and they figured, well, we could handle this. And then again, they said, hey, we would like to have another story. All right, come another night. And they told him a story again. And they thought they were prepared for it, but end of the night, they knew already that had believed the lies that he had lied. And it just happened again and again. Always, at the end, they noticed that they had believed lies, and they had told him lies. And you know what happened? Then after that, these friends came together. They said, okay, that's it. We have a little meeting now, and we'll go again to this guy, and we'll make sure we don't believe his lies. He won't lie to us. That's it. It's the last time that he did. The last evening is the last time he lied to us. That's it. Okay. Again, they call this guy, whatever. All right, we're ready. Tell us again your stories. And we won't believe you if you tell us a lie. They told him that straight. So now we prepare. And you know what happened? This storyteller said, hey, this morning my mom died. And it's so deep in my heart, I can't lie. Sorry, I don't tell you stories because I cannot lie. Oh, what happened? What happened to your mom? How did it happen? What was going on? No, she didn't die. So, that's, if you just with your own mind, you can't handle this. Again, Satan will lie to you. Only and you will believe it. The same as these people. They thought we were prepared now. Now, everybody had a meeting together, and he won't lie to us. But the way he acted, right away, the first couple of sentences had lied already, and they believed completely. Why? They felt sorry for him too, that his mom had died. That came all out of this black box. So don't think you're so strong you will handle all those lies that Satan's tried to bring to you. Just by the word of God, his power, you would handle this. So I have some touchy things here. Maybe not. So like I know we sometimes believe lies. And I warn you, watch that you don't believe Satan lies. I don't know if this is so familiar with us around here, but with a lot of people, I have heard this. For example, if you drive on the road and at midnight, a black cat is running over the road. What sign is that? Who would like to say what sign is that?
Something bad is coming up.
That's a lie. Yeah, but a lot of people believe and they start to fear. Oh, I wish I wasn't on the road or I hadn't seen that black cat because I know. And I don't know, an accident is coming to me or maybe to my friend or to somebody. It's living in fear. That's a lie that came out of this black box, if we call it a black box. So don't believe those lies. But now, there's another one that is more among us. If trouble comes, it comes in three. You ever heard that? Maybe a little different if I explain it a little different, but I have heard it among us even. You're afraid. If one trouble comes, it always goes in three. The next one will come. For example, your car broke down. Oh, now maybe next will be the washer. And I'm afraid. And the next, it might be the mower. So, it comes in three. That's a lie. I will say that's a lie. And I have heard it, and if an accident happened, people say, it might come. We could show it had come in three because we believe it, kind of. So, okay, now a bad accident happened. So soon, another one will come and another one will come. Or if somebody gets sick, has a sickness we don't like, it might come in three, and now, whoa, it might, another one. And also, what I have heard, if somebody dies in your family, in the big family circle, it comes in three. Oh, and we could trace it back, right? Oh, okay. Okay, that member died a year ago, and now there's another one, and okay, now there's another one. And so, as soon as one have died, you kind of wonder a little, oh, I hope not, but it might come in three. No, that's a lie. I would say that's a lie from Satan. He just wanted to destroy us, make us sad, unhappy, and start to believe those lies. Take 2 Samuel 24. This is where David had sinned greatly, in that he numbered the people. And he saw it. The prophet came to him and told him that he had sinned greatly. And now the Lord told David, I offer you three things. So now, God, I offer you three things. Not that these three things are all going to happen. I offer you three things. Choose one of them for yourself that I may do to you. So Sometimes we get punished because we sinned or we did something wrong, and we have sowed something, we will reap it. So, but here it doesn't say it will come in 3. He got an offer of 3. He said, okay, 7 years famine in the land, or 3 months before your enemies, flee from your enemies, or 3 days plague, which is pestilence. But it was not that all these 3 things will happen now because he had sinned so greatly. Just was one, and that was enough. And he said, I want to choose be in God's hands instead of hands of this black box. But he had to experience, and he felt so bad because of his sin, 70,000 people had to die. But don't believe if you sinned that God will punish you in 3 times, in 3 ways for that. Or another one that people believe that comes out of this box, that's if a bird fly against your window and it drops dead. What that say? Well, I could ask people and they say that's a messenger that came and told me there might be an accident happen pretty soon, or it happened already, or somebody in my family had died, or something like it. That's bad news. So then I would say, I would advise you to have all your birds away from the windows. But that's just a lie. But people are afraid. If that bird just drops down, okay, something is coming now. That's a lie. That's from the black box. Now another one that's also a little touchy to us sometime. So now, if I'll say, okay, for the last winter I never got the flu, and I know a lot of you got it, and some twice. Oh, no, because I said it, I'll get it. Is that new? I have heard it a lot among us even. I'm afraid to say that I'm still healthy because that might be, oh, now I got sick. Tomorrow I might get the flu. Well, if you're bragging and you think you have it in your hands, then it might happen. Then you might need this punishment that you will get the flu right after you were bragging, or you figure you have your whole health in your hands and you eat that healthy and so on. So I won't get it. If all of you get it 10 times, I won't get it. Then probably I will get it. But I will say it comes out of this black box. Praise the Lord. If you haven't got sick this winter, praise the Lord. That's because of him. It's not because of me. Give him the honor. And don't be afraid, oh, maybe I don't want to say it because I might get sick tomorrow then. Another one. If you go to a hotel, would you mind to have room number 13? Who wouldn't mind? Take the room number 13. That's maybe 5%. Why? Why wouldn't you like to take the room number 13? What's the problem? Or a lot of hotels, most of the hotels even don't have the floor number 13. That's again out of this black box. They say that number is trouble. And it goes back to what happened here. Jericho, whenever they walked around the 13th circle, everything dropped down. So a lot of people, and I think once they asked me at the hotel, we're a little afraid, but you don't mind if you get room number 13? I said, no, I don't mind. Oh, okay. I know it. And a lot of people say no, because if I will take room number 13, I might get sick or I might die or something might happen to me if I go into that room number 13. Don't believe those lies. Back into that box. Because we are Christians. We don't want to believe those lies. Because if we do, it will hinder us. And the more lies we believe, it might go down. Proverbs 11, verse 27. But trouble will be to him who seeks evil. And I think that's what happened about the black cat and the number 13 and all this. If we kind of seek and believe this and all, that might happen. Because it's almost like I'm praying for that. I'm preparing for it. And then it might happen because of that. Because I believe so many lies already. So then it might happen to me. But 1 John 4, verse 18, I like that. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear involves torment. And so on. So you don't want to live in fear. This will happen, that will happen, because there was lies, and we don't want to believe those lies. Matthew 4, verse 1 to 13. Satan was tempted. Jesus was tempted by the Satan, yeah. Satan tempts Jesus. And the same he'll do us out of this black box. So he said to Jesus, if you are the Son of God, command these stones become bread. If you are the Son of God. Well, he knew that was the Son of God. Why did he question this a little bit? Well, that's what Satan liked to do. So I would recommend to read this quite often, because I know you always get tempted. And then read this portion quite often. And when you read, you don't know what you want to read in your Bible? Well, again, read this part, 1 to 13. Don't give one finger, not the tip of the finger, to Satan. If you do that, he might grab you completely. So don't trust that. And at the beginning, what did Satan in the Garden of Eden? He said, Has God indeed said, thou shalt not eat of every tree of the garden? Yes, he challenged. Satan challenged Eve about this. Is that really true? Well, she said, yeah, that's the way it is. And then verse 5, well, before the Satan explained it. Oh, yeah, partly, yeah, you would be as God. If you do it, you wouldn't be as God, and you'll know right and wrong. That partly was crack. And he said, you won't die, as God had told. So she started to believe the lies. And she ate. And there was the trouble. Satan, he comes up with things like that. So now, if you have believed a couple of his lies, and if you believe the lies, you start to act according to the lies that you believe. And now I give you an example of what we had last Sunday. Matthew 16, verse 23. Jesus said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan." Oh, that was a little harsh, right? This was Jesus' disciple, Peter, and say, "Get behind me, Satan. You are an offense to me, for you are not mindful of the things of God, but the things of men." So Peter had believed some of the lies that came out of this box. Satan had tempted him and gave him thoughts that now Jesus said what's going to happen to him, and Peter got advice from this black box that shouldn't happen to you, Jesus. No. That's not the way to go. Protect you, and I will help protect you too. So that were lies out of this box. I think that's why Jesus said, "Get behind me, Satan." That Satan, those lies, what he had, that what he believed, that should go, but not Peter. And that's where we have to learn from. It was not Peter, that was Satan that told him the lies, and he started to act like it. He believed those couple lies. And it was not that Peter completely was Satan now, completely dropped out of the white box and fell into the black box, but partly, and you have to deal with that. And almost the same thing in John 6, verse 70. Jesus answered them, "Did I not choose you 12 disciples, and one of you is a devil?" Well, how come? If he was really the devil, how come these disciples lived together with them and didn't see it or didn't feel it, didn't notice it, that they had one devil among them? I think it started the same. He believed lie, love of money, and what it all was. That's why he said one is a devil. Because if he really was the devil, all these 11 would have seen it right away. Hey, his face looks so dark, and his eyes are so dark, and the way he's acting and everything, it's so weird that we have this one Judas with us. But at the Holy Communion, when Jesus said, "One of you would betray me," they said, "That I am." This is just hard to think. So, it's not if you believe a couple lies, but work with that. Peter dealt with it later. Judas took the other way. Acts 5, verse 3. Peter said to Ananias, "Why has Satan filled your heart to lie?" So I think this was a young Christian, got baptized maybe among those 3,000 that just got baptized maybe weeks ago, I don't know, months ago, were happy Christians. But now, how come they start to lie? Well, they took some lies, they started to believe the lies that came out of this box. Probably, I could make the story here, probably they figured, hey, we are happy Christians, and we would like to give as others do, and if we will give almost all the money, charity, and keep some for us, that's not a problem. That will make us more happy. And who told them that? Out of this black box. And they figured that would be our right. That would be our right for them. But it was not. That was a lie against the Holy Spirit. And both of them died. Sad to hear. And then I have a little mystery at 2 Corinthians 12, verse 7. Peter says, "A thorn in my flesh was given to me, a messenger of Satan, to trouble me." Okay, so he said this thorn in his flesh was given by Satan, even though he was a faithful Christian. I don't know. I have a thought on this. Was this because what he did before he was converted? And when Jesus met him on the road, and this light was so light, and he just fell down, if that was his showing for what he did, that because we believe this thorn in the flesh was his eyesight, So it's a little touchy to say disease comes from the devil. But I don't want to make a big argument about that. But it goes at least through this white box. Like he knows if we need something. But death and sickness, everything comes from the sin in the Garden of Eden. So for that part, we could say, all right, sickness comes from Satan. So, and because otherwise we'd say, hey, if Satan is in Paul, why didn't he just cast him out and he would be healthy? So this, I think this was that he had this thorn in his flesh, came from Satan. And it says that helps him to be humble. So God knows exactly what to do. And in 1 Thessalonians 2, verse 18, that's where we find that Paul said he was hindered a couple times already, that he couldn't come to their place by Satan. I don't know by what he was hindered that he couldn't travel. Well, if that had happened the last couple of years, you say it was COVID. And COVID was from the devil too, right? But I don't think that this was COVID why he couldn't come. But of course it said Satan. And I don't know what Satan did, but still it seemed like the doors were closed to visit them. He tried a couple times. So now go back a little bit to Cain and Abel. So both of these were serving God, did offerings of what their job was. So one had a lot of fruits, another one probably had a lot of sheep. So one was offering fruit, another one was offering meat, probably. So then God accepted Abel's offering, and Cain's he did not. Why not? I don't know exactly, but maybe he believed some of those lies that came out of this box. And then because what happened, he got angry. Why? Angry about God? Angry of what? But he got angry. And if you get angry, watch, a lot of anger comes out of this box. So now I think the message came out of this box. The problem is Abel. Oh, then he killed him. Was that the right answer? That now his problem was solved? That he would kill his brother and then this problem would be solved? No, that was a lie. I think Satan told him that. And the problem was not solved. And again, that's happened to us. We believe the problem is somewhere else. And I just have more, but I have to quit here soon. Abraham and Lot. What was the problem between Abraham and Lot? They both had lots of sheep, big herds, and too many to be so close together. And then Abraham came up with this idea, choose which way you want to go. If you want to go to the right or to the left, and then so on and so, right? And then I think what happened, out of this black box, something came to Lot that he believed. And he had a feeling, oh, if I choose this land here, I will be richer. I will be better off than Abraham. I think something like that came out of this box. And he probably believed it. And you see the whole picture. Who was better off, Abraham or Lot? I think Lot got a little information out of this box. And nope. He ran in bigger and bigger problem. And the same with Joseph's brothers. Joseph's brothers, they figured Joseph is the problem. And that was a lie out of this box. So they want to kill him, and instead of killing them, they just sold him and we got rid of our problem. No, the problem was somewhere else. Even if I'll sort out these problems, I would say the big problem wasn't their father, that he gave them better clothing and so on. Another big problem was in their own hearts. But this box want to give you different information. If you listen to those, they give you different lies. Don't believe those. Well, look like I have to close. But I still had some more thoughts here from Ephesians also. It said, even if you put on a new man, make sure that you stop lying to one another. And don't believe lies from one another. That's very harmful too. If I believe lies of somebody else, so that's a lie, and I believed him. And I started to treat that person as I heard, and that was a lie, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So I know this message is a little negative, but I think we need this message sometime. I just would like to encourage you, don't believe lies. Look closer out of which box your thoughts came, and so on. Let's stand up for a closing prayer. Our Heavenly Father, thank you that you gave us this opportunity to talk about you and your word, and gave us open eyes that we could see where this Satan wanted to tell us lies, that we could see them and we could deal with them, that we don't believe lies, because we know if we do that, we're in trouble, and the people around us in trouble. May you fill up with your love, that we could work in love together. And may you bless each one that listened to this message. This I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.